Are you serious? Are you serious? We're very serious, and we have some terrible breaking news coming in right now from Indonesia. We are very, very serious about this. Very serious breaking news from Indonesia. There's been a powerful killer quake. It has hit Indonesia 5.6. At least 160 people are dead and many are trapped. Plus, we've just had a powerful 5.2 earthquake a few minutes ago just off the coast of Oregon, very shallow, and it did some shaking and quaking over there in the Cascadia subduction zone. We'll tell you about both these quakes in a moment, but first, let's put a shout out right now if we could for www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. Have you heard of the diet resistance? And if you struggle to lose weight, this might be why. Our metabolism begins to decline as early as age 35. Not only does our body begin to betray us after that age, but stress and other lifestyle factors can multiply the pounds we pack on as well. Luckily, I'm going to give you one quick hack to help reverse the curse. It's helped my weight loss goals, as you can tell, and quicker than anything else I've ever seen. This amazing powder reduces fat storage by supporting a boosted metabolism and elevating the ketone levels. Thousands of people across the nation are taking it now for their own weight loss goals. Give it a try. It's tough to stay on the keto diet, but take the ingredients of the keto diet, put it in a powder form, and take this as you go about your attempts to lose weight by, obviously cutting back in a lot of areas. But this will help because it will help. It's like a catalyst. It speeds up the metabolism. And guys, try it for yourself. It's tasteless, it's odorless, you'll become ageless. Inspect and judge it for yourself. You have a 60-day guarantee. And get this, go right now to www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. You'll be glad you did, guys. Seriously, good product. Okay. Well, I wish I could say good news about Indonesia, but I can't. It is nasty what has happened. So we have two big quakes, 5.6, a killer earthquake, very shallow, that has hit Indonesia. 160 is dead right now. That's the early death toll, and many people are trapped, and the death toll is expected to rise. It's only a 5.6, but guys, it depends where it hits and how shallow it is, and then what is the structures like in the populated areas. Also, a 5.2 earthquake just hit just off the Brandon, Oregon, in the Cascadia subduction zone, and this one was felt. It was very shallow also. No tsunami though, thank God. But again, that Cascadia subduction zone is a very dangerous area. Let's talk about Indonesia because this is a horrible scene. The Indonesia quake kills at least 160, and they're still searching for survivors. A powerful earthquake. More than 160 people are dead in West Java province of Indonesia, with rescuers searching for survivors still trapped under the rubble amid a series of aftershocks. The epicenter of a 5.6 magnitude quake was near the town of Kenjor, in the mountains of West Java, about 75 kilometers or 45 miles southeast of the capital of Jakarta, Indonesia. The region is home to over 2.5 million people. Now, West Java's governor said in an Instagram that 162 people were dead, 326 were injured, but many were still trapped. Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency still placed the death toll at 160, and rescuers are still searching for another 25 believed to be trapped under the rubble, and its spokesperson said the search would continue through the night. Many buildings have collapsed, so we know there's more under the rubble than what we've got accounted for. The death toll is expected to rise, and more than 25 are actually trapped. That's just in one building that they know that they're dealing with. So you can expect the death toll and the injured to rise. Right now it's at 162 dead, 327 injured, 25 and more buried under the rubble. Um, Indonesia, of course, straddles that so-called Pacific Ring of Fire. It's a highly seismic activity zone where different plates of the Earth's crust meet and create a large number of earthquakes and volcanoes. This makes it a very volatile area. More than 2,200 houses have been damaged. More than 5,300 people, homes have been destroyed. And the number of 13,000 said they would be spread out at various evacuation centers across the city. It is a powerful quake. The electricity, of course, is off. It's down, disrupting communication towers down. Authorities said landslides were also blocking some of the evacuation areas. So it's not just that. I saw a triage in the middle of the street with beds everywhere outside of a hospital with, I personally can count about 16, 17 people just in the picture with IVs. They're in beds. People are crying, and it's just it's an absolute chaotic scene. Hundreds of victims are being treated in a hospital parking lot. That's what I'm looking at. There's an emergency tent also been set up at another hospital. Residents have huddled together on mats in open fields or in tents while buildings around them have been reduced to rubble. Ambulances are still arriving at the hospital late into the night because it's on the other side of the world, bringing more people to the hospital. Officials are still working to determine the full extent of the damage caused by the quake, which struck at relatively very shallow depth of only about 6 miles deep. The Vani, who has been treated at the Kanjur main hospital, told Metro TV that the walls of her house collapsed during the aftershock. The walls, the wardrobe just fell. Everything was flattened. I don't even know the whereabouts of my mother and my father. And there's been 88 aftershocks already recorded since this quake hit, and there are more landslides. And now there's heavy rain. It's starting to rain on this situation. That's the last thing they need. The children were downstairs, said Kuku, a 48-year-old who has 7 children. She said, my children were downstairs. I was upstairs getting laundry. Everything just collapsed beneath me. One of my kids is still missing. In Jakarta, some people left offices in the central business district while others reported buildings shaking and furniture moving. That's 45 miles away from the epicenter. In 2004, there was a 9.1 magnitude earthquake that hit off the coast of Sumatra in the Indonesia, which triggered, of course, a massive tsunami and left 226,000 people dead in 14 countries along the Indian Ocean coastline. Half of those dead were from Indonesia. So they know what it means. This isn't near at that magnitude, but it's bad enough. And we don't know what the death toll is going to be before it's all said and done. But this is a terrible earthquake. And it's only a 5.6. It's only a 5.6. So guys, and you wonder sometimes if the U.S. Geological Survey is even giving us the real numbers when it seems like 5.6 used to be 6.6. It seems like they've taken, they're a lot more severe than what the numbers are showing. And that concerns everybody. We're in the end days. We're in the last days, and we're seeing this. Now, news about Oregon. This was a powerful 5.2 quake that rumbles in Oregon. That's, of course, in the Cascadia subduction zone. And that's got a lot of people nervous because, of course, when you're dealing with these things, you're dealing with severe danger. The Cascadia subduction zone, Steve Quayle and myself, we've been studying that for a while. We think it is the most dangerous fault line in the world. Mike Around the World puts it at number 3. He puts the one under Italy as number 1. And he puts one over in somewhere, I think over in Chile as number 2, and Cascadia as number 3. Certainly, any of those could be devastating. But just look what's happened in Indonesia, okay? You know, it's just unbelievable what we're dealing with in these last days. We're in the end times. And so when we talk about prophecy, when the Bible says that, in the last days that there will be these apocalyptic signs, the birthing pains of the coming of Jesus Christ, that's exactly what we mean. We're living in the last days. So hang on a second. Let me, I'm getting texts now. There's more information. There's more breaking news coming in. I'll be right back. It's getting crazy. What is that saying there? Wait a minute. I got another text. I'll be right back. I see geese flying high above the water, a child fishing with his father in the rain. I can smell blackberry brandy and chocolate-covered candy. I see a soldier crying on a train, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. I feel the deepness of his weakness. I can taste the brandy sweetness at a roadside Idaho cafe. I can hear old Teddy laughing, Fitzgerald's toes a-tapping to the roaring sounds of yesterday. Falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth for the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And a shotgun blast echoed across the page, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. We'll be back, guys, with more information. Of course, pray for the people of Indonesia. This is a horrific situation. Of course, 160 are dead. Actually, that death toll is no doubt going to rise, unfortunately. Another 327 people injured. We know at least 25 people are buried in a collapsed building. There are several buildings, quite a few buildings that have collapsed with people under the rubble. And so we really don't know how many people are buried. We know that other landslides have happened. It's starting to rain, making the whole situation more miserable. And it's just it's an apocalyptic scenario right now, folks. The pictures I've seen, it's like it is the apocalypse. Also, pray for around the world. If you want to know about earthquakes, they're happening. As we said, that 5.2 just hit off the coast of Oregon, 5.2. There was also a 5.5 earlier today, also not long ago, up along in Alaska. So, you know, the things are shaking and quaking out there. And so we just got to keep our eyes open and keep our prayers going up, because we're truly living in these last days that the Bible talks about. Great sorrow will come upon the land. Great earthquakes will happen in divers places, and they seem to be taking place now in these last days. Don't forget to get your tickets for Deep Impact, Planet X, and Incoming Asteroids webinar. We're only, 11 days away? Is that right? 11 days away? Starting December 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern. Get your tickets now. Go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com or paulbegleyprophecy.org. Either way, click on it. There you'll see the banner. Click right on that banner. It'll take you right to the spot to purchase your tickets, get it. So you'll be ready. So that at exactly 6 p.m. On December 2nd, your email will come to you with your personal link for the webinar. It's going to be a powerful one. Boy, we need it, because the earth is shaking and quaking. The heavens are breaking, and the asteroids are flying, as you know, and it's all a part of the effects of Planet X. And we get a full detailed report from Mike from around the world, Marshall Masters, Stephen Ben-Danoon, Gil Broussard, Bart Begley's film. I'll be involved as giving you the prophetic portion of it, and others. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be a great webinar. I'll be back in a few minutes. There's more breaking news taking place right now. Give me about 10 minutes. I'll be right back on this YouTube channel with more on the coming apocalypse. Are you saved? Last night we had 21 salvations.